Hi everybody, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group. And today we're going to have some fun with our frame that we got from BeeBeeCraft. So this is our BeeBeeCraft crafting video. It's video number 2 out of 3 of the series of the package that we unboxed. Look at last Sunday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. And you will see the first video, which is the unboxing, okay? I don't know the dates because I'm filming this in June, and it's going to come out the end of June and the 1st of July, I believe, first week of July, so I'm not really sure of the dates on these videos. I'm so sorry. So we got a whole package of these little frames, and they're balsa wood, and or not balsa, yeah, I'd have to say balsa wood by the weight, and they are, come here, they are 5 7/8. I think they're square by 5 7/8, and the inside measures 4 5/8, and I'm gonna say 4 5/8. 4 5/8. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint the frame thin so you can still see the whatchamacallit through it. Then we're going to decoupage in the center. And I was going to do some die cuts. Let me see. In my handy dandy notebook full of die cuts, I have them sorted. Let's see if it's this one. I got this on Temu, and it's meant for die, and it comes with two little ones and a big one, 2 big ones, or I'm not sure what the other one is. Oh, one big giant one. And I'm not sure if this is the one with my flowers in it. I think this is my steampunk. You have to buy the dividers separate, and you have to buy these little fill things separate. Yeah, this is the one with my bigger stuff in it. I bought 2, and I actually could use another one, at least, at a minimum. Yeah, I see some flowers. In fact, I see one that's too big. That would have been pretty right in the center. We could use a butterfly. So we'll go through there real quick and we'll look and see. I should have gotten one out ahead of time, but my butterflies and my flowers are all right in this little first section anyway, so we can just flip through. I've got a napkin that would look good with a die. I accidentally dragged some of it through the white paint and got it all over my hands. So, yeah. Now you could decoupage the whole thing and then just put die in the center. I'm going to be brave and try to do just the center. I've got a pen here, a water pen, and I'm going to try to paint the outside first and let it dry, then use the water pen to, you know, cut this out, tear this out to where it'll fit mostly in the frame. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I would probably use my matte spray top coat to do the picture on the inside, or the picture and the frame, you know, I had to mask off the frame, or use my Mod Podge that I'm going to use to put my napkin in there over the top of the image. This is matte, which, as we all know, isn't exactly matte. I better get these. This is one of my favorite shirts. I better get that out of the way of the paint, huh? Because I dragged the napkin through the paint, and I put out way more paint than I needed. See, I just stuck my finger in the paint. And let me get another paper towel. I used the first one to wipe up all the paint. And then, yeah, so we're going to kind of wing it and see how it goes. I've got a frame that's already dry, so I'm going to go ahead and get that out instead of you watching me paint this because, well, I'm pretty sure you can paint a frame. So here's my one that's dry. And as you can see, I have the rings, you know what I'm talking about, of the board showing through. I just did one very thin coat. I do have a couple of places on the corners that are a little thicker. I might go back and do all 4 corners thicker on purpose. I accidentally got a little bit on the top here when I was doing this here, but I think that makes it look a little homemade. I've got a little less over here. Do you see what I'm saying? Now I did not paint this first, so I'm going to, I don't know whether to try and cut this, and I think maybe I should. If I cut it to 4 and, what was it, 4 5/8, I might be able to just save a bunch of trouble. Yeah, 4 5/8. So let's get this out of the way. And here's my white paint. I just used Deco Art Americana. And now this is titanium white, which is snow white. So it's really, really white. A regular white might not be quite as, I don't know, brilliant on here, I guess you would call it. But I like it. You could use, I have some with a metallic white. That would look kind of cool. The object is to match your book cover. So do just whatever color, even if it's a darker color, make it look like you stained it. You know, put some paint on it, take a paper towel, rub it off, and then you just rub the paint into the wood, and then you could have the same effect. You could just paint it solid to make it look like a book frame. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So let's see. Oops, I was right this way. 4 5/8 approximately. Now this is this water pen is like a marker, and it's also like one of those pens that you prime by punching it up and pushing this up and down. Okay, so I've got 4 5/8. So I'm just gonna draw right along here. Whoa. See if I can get 4 5/8. I can, because this actually tears it as it goes. So there's 4 5/8. Should have probably, oh no, that's the fold. So let me turn it. Let me dry this off. Then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to start here and go to 4 5/8. Oopsie, that napkin stuck on there, or it tore that one spot. I'm going to go lighter. I'm not going to push down. 1 2 3 4 5/8, and then I'm going to go back, and then it should tear it right there. Okay, then I'm going to go straight down to here. Let's see if I can get this straight. I know how to do it. 1 2 3 4 5/8 is right. 1 2 3 4 5/8 is right there. Oops. So now I will go straight down from this corner to this corner. Oopsie. Looks like I didn't go quite all the way over to the corner. I'm going to go really lightly down here to mark it. And then I'm going to go one more time, and that should tear it. And now that's just with this one that's like a magic marker. If you have one that's not that way, or is, look at that. Looks good enough for me. A little bit on the height. Could take just a smidge off the height. Just maybe the width of the marker. That way it won't go up over the side. I'm trying to get it to lay flat in the frame. Then I'm hoping I'll be able to just paint Mod Podge in there. Mod Podge in there, sorry. And then wait till it dries and cover it. That's what I'm hoping will happen. Some more of that and throw it over there. This works really well for this. Don't remember where I got it. It might have been Temu. Probably shouldn't have said that during my BeeBeeCraft video. But that's alright. We got all the main parts. All the really good parts from BeeBeeCraft. I better keep this in case I need to repair anything. That's pretty. And there's a hole here, but there's a little flap. We can just fold it down and we should be able to glue it down. Let me get my, I should have got a thing of water to put my paintbrush in. Let me get my Mod Podge out. I haven't used this in a while. I put the stick and peel, whatever that stuff is called, by Saran Wrap on there, and that works really well. It has so far for me for almost everything I've used it for. I'm just going to peel it back. I'm going to poke it. Poke the bubble there. Yeah, it had dried a little on the underside, so there's a little skin on there. Alright, let's see if we can paint this on here. I'm wondering if I should do a little bit at a time or do one coat, come back and do another coat. Yeah, because this is going to just soak right in. This wood is so porous. So let's put a coat on. Let it soak in. Maybe that'll make a little layer that we can paint on. We'll do that first. Kind of helps see how much to put on the brush to see how far it spreads too. So we're definitely going to have to do it a little bit at a time. Probably about a third at a time, I would say, at the most. I've decided to not get as nice with it. Just kind of slapping it on there. The thinner you put it on, obviously, the quicker it dries. I got a fuzzy right there. Let's get that out. It was blue. Maybe I can do this out of the stuff that's just left in the brush almost. Okay. I'm not going to wait for this to completely dry. Yeah, I squeezed way too much paint out. So let's go back. And we'll do a thing all the way across the top as our glue. Let's see how well we can stick this in here. This is our brighter side. Let's stick it in here. Let's pull it down a little bit, see if we can do that without tearing it. And it's not going to be perfect. Looks like it's going to be short on this side that I tore off. Well, we can put something else in there. Put one of our die in there. You know, up and down. This appears to be working really well as glue, though. Can't believe I made that too short on purpose. Should have waited. And I should have remeasured it before I stuck it in here. Okay, so I'm going to pull it out straight without pulling it so tight that it tears. And I don't mind if it's wrinkly. I kind of like it that way. So I actually should have left a little extra. I'm going to try to push some of that over there as far as I can get it. See, it goes up into the corner at the top. So let's put some more right here. This seems to be working pretty well. If I hadn't torn this side off like a big dum-dum, I would have had it just fine. The whole thing would have been filled. So then what I'm going to do is try to find either a thicker die or two medium die, like flowers, to put over the top. Oopsie. Looks like I've got a little bit extra down here. I think I'm going to take my water pen along the edge of that once it's dry. Get Mod Podge. I'm so terrible about that. Before I knew what it was called, before I had seen it spelled, I used to call it Mod Podge because I thought that's what the name was. So now, even though I know what the name is, out of habit, do you know what I mean? I keep calling it the wrong thing. So there's a little bit not exact on this side. If I do this right, I might be able to get it off. Okay, so we're going to have to let that dry. So I'm going to put you on pause. Oh, that's just pretty without anything on it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Except for this little spot right over here. I wonder this isn't quite long enough. I didn't tear it quite long enough. And this is this is the bright side. Really don't want to cover up that flower. I don't want to tear it. I know you're supposed to, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to cut some of it off right here. See if I can just patch it with a little bit of this. I can get all that dark pink off. I think it'll blend in without any trouble. I can fill up this little side area. And it's going to go this way. Okay. Take some more Mod Podge. I'm going to run it down here kind of thick so that it doesn't move the napkin that's already underneath. I'm going to put this little piece on here. All right, now. Yeah, if I'd have gotten that little bit of red off. Let's see if we can make a wrinkle and move it out of the way. Well, I just wanted to fill it so it wouldn't be white. Behind our die that we're going to run up that way. So that worked out pretty well. The pink up here matched pretty well as well. Just got that pink blob right in the middle of that white flower. As we all know, it doesn't really matter. Oh, looky there, now that it's wet. Now that it's wet. Ta-da! I made a wrinkle out of it. Now I'm kind of pouncing it flat. Solved my problem. Look at that. Okay, so now this has to dry. So we're going to set it up here to dry. And I am going to leave the white paint there. Or am I not? No, I'm not. I was going to leave it there because I still have to paint the other frame, but I have to paint lots of other frames. So I'm going to wipe all of this up so I don't drag anything through it. Then I should have done 3, huh? Only had that one napkin. Now I've got one that I wouldn't really put die over or die cuts over, and that would be this one. Wouldn't this be pretty in a frame? I'm just saying, we're not going to do it, so we're not going to do 2, but I'm just showing you the different options that you have. There's all kinds of different things. There are steampunk napkins. You know what I mean? There are all kinds of things. Having a frame with your steampunk stuff in there would be kind of cool. You could dunk this in your alcohol inks. You know what I mean? And get them done. Let's see if I can get this off. Oh, it did go a little bit up onto the page. I'm just going to fold it back up over the page. Yeah, that might not have been the smartest move. I should have just folded it back up and then Mod Podged it. So this is our experiment. Plus I can go back and paint white over it again and make it a little bit darker on the inside. And then I could cover up some of my mistakes if I was careful. Make sure you get all the napkin off of your water pen before you put it away. There is a little bit of the dye left on there. Dye of, as in color, not dye cut or dye. So while that's drying, let's find our we'll put another coat on it after we put our dye on there, maybe. Or maybe we'll put a coat, or I don't know that I want another coat on there. I don't want it to be super shiny. I think I'm just going to put my dye on there. I'm thinking one right here, maybe a tall one that comes out like this, and maybe one more shorter one that comes out like that, and just doing a couple, and then having the red be the accent on this side. That's my thought. We'll see. I just made a big mess up here in the corner. All right, let's get our notebook out. Let's move this out of the way completely. Let it dry. And I was thinking something like, I got most of these from BeeBeeCraft. I was thinking something like this along the sides, and these kind of look like those flowers too. So I haven't used these yet. They're still together. So I think I like these. I don't think our search is going to be very long. Got these butterflies. I have some more long skinny dye. Here they are. They're too big. How about these? I mean, we can cut it off. I kind of like the details on this, even though I'm going to have to pokey tool all that out. However, this does have the thicker leaves to kind of cover up some of our sins. Put one right there. That's awful big for putting a second one. I like these better. They all match. I can put more than one on there. I think I'm gonna put this inside of here if I can. They're not gonna come out. There we go. What about one flower and one stem of leaves? That would be pretty, wouldn't it? Doesn't really look like leaves. I think I kind of like this one. One of those and one of those, maybe. All right, let's try that. I have a lot of dye. Like I said, most of them I got doing reviews for BeeBeeCraft. I totally appreciate it. Okay, so let's cut these. I'm thinking this one kind of looks like these. Oh yeah, that's almost dry. Or dry to the light touch. So if I put this, it's going to cover up quite a bit. Which might be alright, actually. And then use this little flower with it instead of the leaves. Let's break it apart. See what we got here. Let me get my pliers. There's little pieces that are connector pieces, and you want to take those off before you use it. Sometimes they'll stick to the other piece, sometimes they'll stick to this piece. If you just take a pair of needle nose pliers and kind of twist once, it'll just twist right off. So we'll have this one like so. Put this one back in the very back, and then this one right here, I think. The little metal pieces almost look like little bitty leaves. I'm thinking I want to do white to match the frame. I don't want to do cream, or do I? If I do white, white's going to be really white. You know, doing maybe like so. And I'm not going to ink them. I could ink them with Dusty Rose. I might do cream colored. I think white would be too white. You can see the wood grain. That's the word I was looking for. You can see the wood grain through here. And this gives it a little bit of a beige color because it's just such a thin coat of white. So I think I'm going to use cream color. Could have used this clear matte gel medium as well to glue the napkin down if you don't have any Mod Podge. You can also use a spray fixative if you put tape over the frame. Let's see what else I got back here. Gloss fluid medium. It's clear. Pretty thin though. Yeah, here's more gloss medium and varnish. That's going to be shiny though. Okay. Let me get my die cut machine out. As you know, we do this off camera because I don't want to slide the glass, which is what it does when I crank it. And let's get a cream piece of paper. I'm going to have to cut it to 6 inches wide. I usually do 5.5 to make sure it fits. And we'll use these two. We can do them both at the same time. They'll fit. We're going to put our paper down, whoops, on the plates. And put our paper down. Then we'll put our die down with the blades down so the smooth side will be up. And then we'll just run it right through the old machine. I'm going to run it through one more time just in case. Yeah, there we go. That should be it. Third time's a charm. Oh, how pretty. Okay, let's put my die over here. Looks like they came right out. Look at that. Now we're going to have to poke all these little holes out. Or you could leave them on as texture. They all stayed in. And I kind of like them as texture. No, I don't. This came out really dainty. Almost could have used 2, huh? One on either side. Okay, let's do one more of the little bitty ones. Okay, there's our third one. I think that'll work. I like the fact that we used the cream. I think the white would have been too bright white against our napkin. You can use these as stencils if you want. You can cut across here and across here, and you would have a nice little stencil. I have a few that I've kept of flowers. Okay, let me get my toothbrush. Let's see how many come out with just the toothbrush. Most of them. This way I don't have to use the pokey tool to poke them out one at a time. Most of them will fall right out with just a regular soft, medium. I use medium toothbrush. I know it wasn't dirty when I got done using it for my brushing. That's strictly craft drawer dirt. Yeah, some of the littler ones we're going to have to take out by hand with the pokey tool. Oh, maybe not. A little pouncing. Seems to be working. There we go. Yeah, I kind of pounced the bristles down in there. There we go. This one just got caught. These two are out. Look at that. We only have two left. There's one. And there's the other. Pretty. Yep, that's the right side up side. This one has just one little one left in there. And the toothbrush took it right out. Come here, you. Can't get a hold of it. There we go. And then one like this. So we're going to have to glue this one in first. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because I have it in a bottle where it comes out fairly thin. And again, you could make little flowers on the frame. You could use this rose color with cream in the middle. That would be pretty, or a light pink with the darker in the middle. You could pick up that yellow a little bit. You could do all kinds of things. We only have 20 minutes left, so we are going to use Mod Podge to glue them down. Yes, we are. That way I don't have to worry about trying to glue these little things. We're going to get our Mod Podge back out. And we're going to paint this area. Brush it on fairly thick. Whoops. Maybe not that thick. I'm just going to pounce a little bit on top. Darn it, there's a little piece I missed. Ta-da! Okay. This down in the wet Mod Podge. I think I'm gonna cut just a smidge off. And then it'll cross over. We'll glue it down right there. Didn't quite mean to put that much on there. And then we'll put this one like that. Glue it on. Now I think since we glued these on with the Mod Podge, I think we should put a coating of the Mod Podge on the entire flower, otherwise it's just not going to look quite right, I think. And once this dries, it will be matte, sort of. It isn't going to be completely matte. It'll be a little shiny. But it won't be any shinier than the rest of this, I don't think. Even if it's a little bit, that's okay. So this is our final. I think I'm going to leave it at that. This is our final. And I should do something to do something across there, I guess. I don't know what that would be. Hold it like this, maybe. But you could do whatever you wanted across the bottom. It's a little bit that way across the top too. So, you know, it kind of matches. This is only about the 5th time I've decoupaged, so I think I did pretty good. And then we've got our die cut on there. So I'm going to say this is done. I'm going to thank BeeBeeCraft for sending me the frame and the die to make the die cut with. And then, even though it wasn't this particular time, this shipment, it was a different shipment, but still. I'm going to let you go at 45 minutes. So that's how long it took to make this. Maybe a little bit longer if you'd have painted it and waited for the paint to dry. Maybe make the whole thing a total of an hour. And then you've got one of these done. You can put whatever pictures and dye you want in there. No dye at all. Steampunk. What do you call that? With the ruffles and stuff. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, any style you could put on there and it would look just great. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you next week. We've got one more crafty video with BeeBeeCraft, and then we'll be done for this shipment, but then there'll be another shipment and we'll have some more fun again. All right? Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.